This is Andi Purewal for Boxing Social. I'm now joined by Carl Frampton at the second of the third leg of his press tour with his fight with Josh Warrington. Carl, how are you doing?
I'm not doing too bad at all.
That's good to hear. I know you've been asked this over and over again today, but it was a surprising atmosphere that you didn't have any heckles or anything throughout. Did that surprise you?
It did. I was speaking with Jimmy Moore on the way over in the car, and was expecting a few boos and stuff. I didn't get them. It was a very pleasant welcome actually. But yeah, no, I don't know. There's no real heat or tension between me and Josh. So I think the Leeds fans understand that, and they'll understand that in Belfast as well.
You've just mentioned that heat and tension. Do you not necessarily miss it, but do you maybe wish that there was that little bit just to maybe give it a bit of spice, just to maybe ramp you both up a bit more?
No, it's irrelevant. It doesn't bother me whether if he wanted to come out and throw stuff at me and I was getting booed from the crowd. It doesn't bother. It doesn't change how I approach the fight and how I'm going to fight on the night. So, it's pretty nice and respectful. It's completely irrelevant to me.
So how do you see tomorrow going in Belfast, in your home city?
I think it'll be similar. I think depending on how today went, was going to determine how Belfast went, and they've been respectful to me. I think the Belfast fans will be very respectful to Josh as well.
A lot's been made, obviously, of the atmosphere and of what Leeds fans can be like. And come fight night, you'll have your fans, which are very noisy, as well as Josh's. What are you anticipating? If you could try and sum up the night and the atmosphere from this point, how do you see it?
I think we've two of the most passionate fan bases in world boxing. I think it's probably going to be a pretty even crowd. So just noise. I think it's going to be a lot of noise. Yeah, when I fought Quigg, the atmosphere, the MEN coming out, I remember it just being insane. But although it was almost in his backyard, it was a pro-me atmosphere. It's going to be different. But I'm looking forward to it. I think it'll be extremely noisy, and I think probably it's got to be close to being. It'll be up there with one of the best ever atmospheres in British boxing. Has to be. Because you've got two sets of fans, and the thing is, you look at Hatton, the atmosphere's great at Hatton fights are amazing, but they're all for Hatton. It's going to be split down the middle. It's going to be insane.
So do you feel that this will be the best atmosphere that you've been involved in?
100%, yeah, easily.
So how do you guys as boxers then deal with that pressure and that atmosphere when you're walking out or you're in the tunnel waiting to walk out and you can hear the noise just drowning in you? How do you deal with that?
Yeah, that's another thing. It's irrelevant. For me, I don't want to speak for Josh, but I'm listening to it. I'm excited. But I've got my mind on the fight. So, if you could hear a pin drop or if you couldn't hear yourself speak, it doesn't matter to me. It's not going to change how I fight.
When you look back at it, you might watch it the next day and you see the videos of the atmosphere. Do you feel a bit of like regret that you can't really soak it up too much because you have to stay focused on the fight?
Yeah, sometimes. It's always good to watch kind of. I love to see the kind of the stuff that goes up on YouTube of the fans have done themselves on their phones. That always captures it the best. So I always watch that, but it's something I've spoke about. I'd love to be able to bottle it up and listen to it again, but. It's you're in the moment, and it's just good to be there, and I suppose it's something you can reflect on when your career's over as well.
And obviously on Josh himself, what have you made of his rise since he signed with Frank and obviously beating Lee Selby for the world title?
Yeah, he's done well. I think that his performance against Selby was very good, but I think Selby was absolutely dead at the weight. I think if you look at Lee's comeback fight, I know he hasn't got one lined up, but he's saying he's coming back at lightweight rather than super featherweight. That tells you enough. So, good performance. He won the fight convincingly. I think one of the judges might have had it close, but I think Josh won pretty convincingly. But I believe I'm a different fighter than Lee Selby.
So, what type of fight do you anticipate it being on Saturday, the 22nd?
Tough fight, hard fight, but I control it. I control a lot of my fights. And I win the fight. That's I don't make any mad crazy predictions. I always predict that I'm going to win fights, and I'm certain I'm going to win this fight.
You obviously won the WBO interim title the last time out. Was there not a temptation to maybe go for Valdez and go for the normal title in that sense?
Well, Valdez is an option, but I was offered this fight's easier to make than the Oscar Valdez fight because we're both with Frank Warren. So and it's an all British fight. So it makes a lot of sense. So if someone had put Valdez to me before Warrington, I'd have been happy to take that fight too. But Josh Warrington was the first name mentioned to me, so happy to take the fight.
How does this fight rank in terms of pressure on your career? Do you feel that you have to win at this stage? A loss just might be the end of Carl Frampton. What are your thoughts?
Potentially, it could be the end, but I'm not thinking about that. I believe with all of my heart that I'm going to win this fight. So that's, I'm not thinking about losing at this point in time.
And I say one fight, but a third fight everybody would love to see is the Trilogy with Leo Santa Cruz. What has happened there in terms of when do you think we would see, or why hasn't it happened to date?
Well, I don't know. I don't know why it hasn't happened, but I think it will happen. It's one each, kind of has to happen. The potential that, I suppose, if I beat Josh, I have a world title, the potential to finish a Trilogy with Santa Cruz, and it'll also be a unification fight. That's huge, and that's a huge fight. So I don't know why it hasn't happened, but it will at some point, I'm sure of it.
Would that for you be? Is that for you the biggest fight that you want at this stage of your career?
Yeah, I want that fight more than any other, and I've spoke about that openly in the past. But again, I've got Josh Warrington to look forward to, and that's the only man in my mind at the minute.
And obviously, it was mentioned in press conference, the Dillian Whyte Chisora fight might be made for the 22nd of December as well. What are your thoughts on that?
I just think no one wins there. Boxing fans lose out, boxers lose out. I don't even think it'll happen anyway. So if it does, it's not my concern. I'm just focused again. It doesn't sound like I'm repeating myself, but I'm focused on my opponent, and that's Josh Warrington.
What is it that you feel that, look, sometimes the fights will be put on at the same date? What is it that makes promoters feel that this is the best way to go about their business?
Well, they don't feel it's the best way. It's just a competition, isn't it? It's just that's all it is. It's all pissing contest. That's all it is. So.
Well, Carl, thank you for speaking to Boxing Social.
Thank you.